Of 2 boys and 1 girl. He's not busy at all. Oh wait, he's also a stepfather to 1 boy and 1 girl. That's a lot. And a Photoshop professional. So we're going to have the opposites, or the flip side of the coin here now. So for the last 15 years, he has been enhancing images for the covers of style and fashion magazines, beauty and fashion brands, ad agencies for high-profile campaigns, and for world-renowned commercial and fine art photographers. What happened was Roy went to a screening of a documentary many of you have seen and heard of called Misrepresentation. And there he became more aware of how his media work contributes to how his daughters, girls, and women perceive themselves. He has started to expose the secrets of image manipulation, thank you, within the print and advertising industries. And his mission now is to help women as well as men realize the imagery that they are bombarded with on a daily basis is designed to make consumers feel inadequate and for financial gain. He is currently working on as a Photoshop professional and is no longer a digital retoucher. So what does that mean? It means that as a Photoshop professional, he doesn't work in the beauty and fashion industries anymore. More product and design, creative, and without killing women's self-esteem is what he does. Roy is actively pursuing a career in voice acting so that he can stop working in the image manipulation business altogether. That's amazing. That's really wonderful. Take the floor.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you, Seth, and to the Congressman as well, too, that have spoken. It's really hard to go ahead and follow everybody that's already spoken. Yeah, my name is Roy Akwe, and I live and work in Los Angeles, California. I've worked on many clothing and beauty product campaigns and advertising. I've worked on covers and editorial spreads for popular magazines that have been seen by millions. My handiwork has been on the billboards of bus benches you pass by on your way to work or lunch. You may also have seen my work as in well-known art galleries in New York, Europe, and Los Angeles. One might think that I'm a photographer, but I'm not. Actually, I'm a photographer's best friend. I'm actually the secret best friend of a photographer. And my pseudonym and tagline has always been Icon Artist, spelled E-Y-E-C-O-N, artist. And my tagline has been to keep to have the unreal appear real. And I thought that that was really clever when I was coming up with that, and I didn't really realize about 10 plus years ago how that was not really such a great thing. Then when I started out as a retoucher, photographers made every effort to make sure that they had near flawless sets, models, apparel, makeup, and products. They shot their images with film, which they scanned and then retouched. If the images needed digital retouching, it was extremely expensive, and only large companies could afford to have it done. If small commercial companies needed retouching back then, it was minimal. Today, with photographic technology where it is, it's not just the major campaigns that have retouching done. It's every image, it's every image produced for public consumption that is retouched, whether it's a model, a bar of soap, or even a dog. Every image in advertising has been retouched, and that's one thing that people don't seem to realize, the general public doesn't seem to realize, is that everything in print has been touched to one degree or another. It's standard for me to thin and elongate legs, thin down the waist and arms, as you've seen in the video, remove any bulging flesh, removing any wrinkles, bags under the eyes, blemishes, freckles, tattoos, fix a lazy eye, remove or minimize creases that were, or they should be not natural within a neck or within armpits. If you'll notice a lot of ad campaigns when it comes to lingerie and bikinis, you'll never see any kind of, and you'll see one line in an armpit. I mean, you look in the mirror, I'm not seeing that. You know. So it's extremely unreal. That is a telltale sign too, is if you're looking at advertising or you're looking within images or at images within advertising, that is one telltale sign, as well as a neck being kind of twisted to the side. All those lines naturally happen. Usually those are taken out as well. Usually, in the past, I'd never questioned the ethics of what I was doing, what was being asked of me, and what was asked to be manipulated. mainly due to how my clients were phrasing what they needed to have done. One of them was always, we need to focus attention to the product the model is wearing. They don't want to go have any distractions. It's all about the silhouette to showcase the design, minimize the distractions, make them look beautiful or handsome. It's always kind of a general thing, but as a retoucher, we know exactly what needs to be done to have that happen. There's a series of things. And also, one that I had this one photographer that I was working with, it always seemed to be, whether it was, any woman that I was retouching, make her look hot. So there was a standard of being able to go ahead and make sure that these all came together in a certain way within my job to make sure I went down the checklist before they even saw the image, before they actually saw it from me. The first thing that they saw was out of camera, give it to me, they don't say anything, I already know what the checklist is, and then I'm giving it to them. So it never occurred to me that what I was doing was causing any harm. Everyone knows everything is retouched, right? I mean, that's what I used to think all the time. Everybody already knows this. If they don't, it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, I was wrong. It didn't cross my mind until about 10 years ago, around 2004, when I was out with a friend at a popular apparel store. The store had several images of the product all over the store that I had worked on. I mentioned this to the young woman that was helping us, and she looked at me as in disbelief and wanted to know what I had done to the images. I pointed out that one image it had I pointed at one image and explained that I had cleaned up every square inch of that model's skin. This was a lingerie store that I can't go ahead and name, but when I saw the images, I was excited to have actually seen my workup. But as I was talking to her, I really realized that what I had done there had really gone ahead and negatively affected her. So to continue, I pointed out with that one image what I had done with the skin, and that I had also had to brought down the bulges actually from where the bra and panties were tight on her hips, torso, and shoulders, thinned down the sides of her body to give her a smooth hourglass look, cleaned up her makeup, brightened her eyes, and even changed the color of some of the garments. She was horrified. She told me that she had no idea that she came into work every day thinking that something was wrong with her. It's something that she felt that she should look like these images. And I realized at that point that she did not know. She didn't realize. And I had to go ahead and tell her that she was fine, and everything that she sees in print actually has been retouched, especially women in any ad, and reassured her that she looked fine. The models don't even look like that. That experience got me thinking, how many other women feel that way when they look at images that I've had my hand in retouching? Sure, thoughts filled my head that day, but I had more important things to focus on, like making a living with what I know how to do, retouching images, conning your eyes. I have a daughter who is 13 years old. She's old enough now to internalize what she sees. I think she's beautiful inside and out, and I'd hate to have her think that and I'd hate to think I had anything to do with making her dislike herself. So I tell her about the retouching and how it's used in every printed image she sees, and even show her before and afters of files I've worked on, because I'm on the inside. But what about all those girls, all those other girls, young women and ladies that have no clue as to how the images they see are affecting them? My daughter, for all women, and for many years now, I've felt like I should do something to educate everyone about manipulated images used in advertising. Since that day in the clothing store back in 2004, thoughts of needing to spread the truth have haunted me and grown greater with every passing year. It all came boiling to the surface after seeing the screening of Misrepresentation at the California Endowment on May 17, 2004. Periodically during the movie, there were images flashing on the screen that were taken from print ads to show examples of how women are being negatively portrayed in the media. Then, one of the covers that I retouched popped up in the movie, and a lightning bolt of anxiety just shot right through me. It didn't help that basically I was in a room full of women, and I just kind of shrank at that point. I just didn't want anybody to go ahead and know that I had anything to do with that, especially from it being a negative portrayal. During the Q&A after the screening, I mustered up the courage to go up and ask the director, Jennifer Seibel Newsom, how I could help turn things around, stop being a part of how the media portrays women, and maybe still be able to make a living. She was so impressed by me coming forward to start being part of the change that I decided to get my story out, risking career suicide, just to try to do my part to change the culture. She showcased my story that I posted on YouTube on June 28th, 2012. I don't know what happens next. The video consists of what I've previously mentioned and voicing concerns about the future for girls, women, and my uncertain future as a retoucher. It was part of my misrepresentation.org Keep It Real campaign to get images, or get the magazines to have one unretouched image of a model printed for publication for the summer of 2012. Since then, I have learned a lot. I've learned that one of the reasons why young women and men develop eating disorders is because of the imagery that they are bombarded with on an hourly basis. They often feel inadequate due to the not measuring up to the perceived ideal presented to them, and so they turn to drastic measures such as dieting or purging as a way to try to make their body measure up to the images that they see. But it will never happen, and it's impossible for them to do so because the images are not real. Unfortunately, many will keep trying to measure up with unhealthy and dangerous means until it is the death of them. Another